here we go. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Mr. Producer. And we're live, baby. Aroo! Ah! Who do you think you're fucking dealing with? What's going on, bees?
What's up, brother?
We're back, huh? The gentlemen have been clamoring. We were supposed to go live on Friday, but we actually ended up moving the second stream to Thursdays because there was a scheduling conflict. You know, the boys got to get our fresh fades on Friday before the weekend. And people were hitting me up. What happened? You guys didn't go live. What happened? Are you guys going live? I said, all right, gentlemen. I love the enthusiasm. And we'll definitely get 2 shows going every Monday and Thursday. But I love that people are, worked up. The fact that we were supposed to go live and we didn't go live. I mean, it's good. People are getting the juice. People are actually gaining something from these streams, which is important.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to doing the second stream. I think it'll be good because I think with, in a week's time, there's so much that can happen.
Exactly.
It's like there's there's so much volatility just in a single day sometimes, depending on where the market's at. A lot of the times, like last week, it wasn't really necessary to do a second stream just because the week ended up closing on Friday, pretty much where it started the week.
Right.
So you guys will see that happen sometimes. There's a lot of volatility throughout the week, but then at the end of the week, depending on what's going on, you'll end up back where you started.
Right.
So as long as you didn't hit the panic button and start jumping out of your positions, it's not a big deal. The volatility is, you can just stomach it.
And here's the good news, right? If you're actually inside of the Taylor's code, number 1, you're going to be getting updates throughout the week in terms of what we're seeing and where the market's going. And 2, if you're inside the private crypto plays, which is our private group chat where we're actually giving buys, sells, positional moves, things that we're actually doing live as it's going down, as it's happening. And we're also giving you plays in there that we're not talking about on YouTube, much smaller market cap plays. Well, then you also have access to us in that sense too. You can text us, reach out to us, call us. I know guys all throughout the week, they're hitting me up. Let me know where they're at and their positioning and what they should be doing, when they should be buying, what they should be buying, which is good because you get that direct access. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that's something I told you I wanted to mention too last week was there's a lot of different communities on YouTube, on Discord, on, school platform, whatever, that obviously deal in the crypto space. And I think one of the big advantages of the Taylor's code, especially right now, is the fact that it is fairly new. So, right now you guys have direct access to us. You have direct access to the other people we have inside the Taylor's code. And you guys are able to ask questions and get pretty much immediate responses. I mean, I know Priyama and I are on our phones pretty much 24/7. So, there's a lot of different communities that 2 phones.
2 of
them. Kevin Gates. But so there's a lot of communities that you guys can join. But I mean, the ones that have been around for a while that have, hundreds, if not thousands of members, it's like, they're going to provide a ton of information. They may be a little bit more developed. So you're getting, maybe more information from them in total. But for questions that you guys have specifically for your positions, when you want to enter, when you want to sell, it's going to be a little bit harder to actually communicate directly with the analysts that are inside the community. So especially right now, I'd say obviously we've been growing really quickly. Everything's growing. The live streams are getting a lot more traction. We're getting a lot more people coming into the community on the Taylor's Code platform. But especially right now, it's a big leg up and it's a big advantage for you guys that want just someone to kind of walk you through buying, selling. If you have questions about setting up your wallet, if you have questions about, what swaps and exchanges to use online whenever you're buying and selling, you guys will have pretty much direct and immediate responses from us right now.
Which is invaluable, especially because, I mean, it's similar to investing and everything else we talk to. Whenever you're there at the beginning, before it's popular, before it's exciting, before everybody knows about it, you're going to get all the value or get the majority of the value out of that product, service, meme coin that you buy, whatever it may be. It's the same thing with the Taylor's Code. You're here early. You guys are part of the building stages. You guys are going to be making the most amount of money, not only because you obviously get entries a lot lower than everybody else, but a lot of the guys that have been with us since the beginning of last year, they're making money in the business. They ended up getting hired to do things. They're working with us. They're making money with us. Like, it's just, there's so much more value whenever you're part of something before it gets popular, because that's what's going to happen. We're going to grow to the point where there's going to be 10, 20,000 people in a part of the organization, which is going to be within the next year or two. And yeah, you're probably not going to be able to just call me up or call Logan up and say, hey, where should I buy this meme coin? Probably not going to happen, right? At that point, probably not. Now you can do that, but in the future, probably not. So anyways, so a point I was going to make, I was saying this before we went live. Imagine, right? So Bitcoin, for you guys who haven't been paying attention, is at new all-time highs as we're speaking. Imagine if these people had somebody who was just, casually posting in the Taylor's code on their Snap stories, on their social medias, all these charts saying that Bitcoin's about to go on its next leg higher, so that they could have bought in assets before it made its next leg higher this morning. Imagine if they knew somebody who was doing that. Do you know anybody who's doing that recently?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you were posting about it all weekend. I just replied to one of your posts in the Taylor's code this morning from 2 or 3 days ago, showing exactly what Bitcoin was going to do now that it's doing it, and said this aged well.
Yeah, it did. So, and we're going to go into a couple of those charts, but that's what I was saying all this past week. Those you guys are on, follow me on social media. I've been saying that Bitcoin's about to take its next leg higher, right? Q4 traditionally is the best time to be holding Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin season. That's exactly what's been happening. Then we had paused. We had been consolidating, basically retesting multiple different price levels, knocked out a bunch of leverage junkies, crashed them out. Now it looks like Bitcoin was starting to get ready to take its next leg higher. And that's exactly what's happening. So we should see Bitcoin blast off to it's probably going to bull shop up to about 110,000. Then we're going to see it just blast off to 115, 120, and then eventually about 140, 150 going into Q1. And then we'll see where we're at that point. But yeah, it's taking its next leg higher. So I'm going to pull up the chart if you want to.
Yeah. I was going to say, while you're getting that pulled up, two just thoughts that I had this morning. The first thing is I wanted to talk about just kind of how the beta trains work for everything that we're invested in. If you disagree with any of these, then definitely let me know. But I think we're kind of on the same page as far as what historically has been correlating with what. So for you guys that have been following us for a while, we've talked a lot about the Bitcoin dominance chart since, the beginning of the year, saying that as Bitcoin continues to pump higher, at first, initially, it's going to suck up a lot of the dominance in the market. And what the Bitcoin dominance shows, or what that Bitcoin dominance chart indicates, is how much of the entire crypto space is being dominated by Bitcoin itself. Mm-hmm. So I was looking at the chart this morning. Towards the beginning of this initial Bitcoin move, Bitcoin dominance was getting up to about 61%, 62% was where it topped out. Mm-hmm. And if you guys look at the chart this week, it's starting to fall pretty quickly. It's already down to 57.5%, which I think, just a couple of days ago, it had actually slipped down to almost 54%. So what this is indicating to me is that Ethereum and meme coins are starting to gain more space in the market, which is good for us. It also shows me that, traditionally Ethereum is a beta to Bitcoin. So Ethereum, it needs Bitcoin to continue to perform really well to actually be able to perform well itself.
Right.
But the more that Bitcoin dominance starts to slip, the more traction and control of the market Ethereum and meme coins and altcoins are getting, which means that Ethereum doesn't really depend and lean on Bitcoin quite as much as it did before to be able to perform well. So in my opinion, the way that the betas have worked is Ethereum is traditionally a beta to Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin's performing well, usually you guys are going to see Ethereum perform well. Lately, it's been performing obviously a little bit less well than Bitcoin, but that's about to change based off this chart.
Right.
Pepe is a beta to Ethereum. So whenever Ethereum's performing well, you'll see Pepe pretty much correlating almost directly with Ethereum, but outperforming it. Brett, from what I've seen, is a beta to Ethereum directly. It doesn't really seem to correlate too much with Pepe. Andy, from what I've seen, is a beta to Pepe. So whenever Pepe's performing well, Andy tends to perform well too. And then Landwolf has really been a beta to Andy.
Right.
So that's kind of the chain of command that I've seen. For any of you guys that are following all these charts that are invested in the Boys Club, which I'm assuming if you're watching the stream, You
Probably
probably
are.
are.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the chain of command. ETH bases off of Bitcoin, Pepe bases off of ETH, Brett bases off of ETH, Andy bases off of Pepe, and then Landwolf bases off of Andy.
Right.
Obviously, there'll be some variations on the daily charts or on the weekly charts, but if you guys zoom out a little bit and you look at the course of this cycle so far, that's been kind of the case. But yeah, I think personally, we're probably going to see Bitcoin obviously continue to go up. I think it's probably going to go over 200,000 this cycle,
Yeah.
from everything I've been hearing about. But I don't think that that means Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to go up. I think we'll probably see Bitcoin dominance slip to like 53%, 54% before the end of the year.
Right. So, and I'm just replying to a couple of guys in the chat. Um, but yeah, so what you're saying is correct with the betas, because Brett certainly doesn't seem to trade correlated to Pepe at all. It is just skips over Pepe and is direct to Ethereum. And not only is Brett Ethereum beta, but Brett, the way that the chart plays out, if you know, line up the timelines whenever Ethereum pumps and then whenever Brett pumps, Brett is lagged by about a couple of weeks or up to a month from whenever Ethereum breaks out. That's usually whenever Brett catches its rotation. Pepe is a lot more tightly attached time-wise to Ethereum than Brett is. So whenever Ethereum's ripping face, Pepe just seems to go right away with it just a couple of days afterwards. And then Andy being correlated to Pepe and Wolf being correlated to Pepe, them doing the same thing. So they'll pump a lot faster than Brett, seemingly, but that doesn't mean Brett's not going to pump. The rotation to Brett is just a different rotation that people are taking. So it doesn't mean sell your Brett and go try to chase Andy and Wolf pumping. No. That money's going to come to Brett eventually. It just takes a little bit longer. It's a laggard.
Yeah, and I think something that's important to pay attention to for Brett also. I don't know if you've been noticing it or if anyone watching has been noticing it too, but base meme coins have been getting a lot more attention. So previously, whenever the market was down, a lot of people like were just gambling in the Sol Casino. A lot of people were gambling in Solana memes because for anyone that doesn't know, the gas fees on Solana are extremely cheap. So whenever people can buy and sell with really no negative impact on their profits, it makes the coins extremely volatile. You know, that's why you guys will see Solana coins will pump up from just being launched to hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap in just a couple days. And then just as quickly as they pumped up, they'll fully retrace, 80%, 90%, and then you won't really ever hear about them again.
Right.
Base coins or base memes have been starting to do the exact same thing for a similar reason, because the base fees are pretty much nothing. I think it's 1 penny per transaction, regardless of size. So on the base chain, you guys could be buying and selling, $1 million of a coin, and your gas fee is still going to be 1 penny. So I think the fact that base memes are gaining a lot more traction and a lot more attention, like I know Ski Mask Dog is one of them that just recently exploded. It shows that number one, a lot more people have wallets that are able to access the base chain, which is fantastic for Brett. It's bullish for the base network in general. But number two, if you guys paid attention to whenever back in like the middle of November, end of December, when Ethereum was really starting to rip originally, it jumped up in the matter of a week and a half from like 2,500 all the way up to like 3,800. And all the altcoins were ripping with it that were on the Ethereum network. The gas fees instantly jumped up to like $100 per transaction.
Yes.
So for anyone that has a smaller size entry that wants to just buy, I'm sure some people that are watching the stream have noticed this. If you're wanting to buy like $100 of Andy or, $200 of Pepe or whatever, you're losing half of your position that you're trying to enter with just to the gas fee and the exchange fee.
Correct.
So that is super, super bullish for Brett. And that's why we keep preaching that Brett is definitely going to be a later in the cycle play. And I think that over these next few weeks, whenever Ethereum really starts to push for like 5, 6, 7, 8,000, and all these ETH memes are ripping with it, and the gas fees start to get astronomical, you're going to start to see a lot of these people that are buying base memes right now and that are on the base network start to pivot into Brett heavily. So for anyone in here that's holding Brett, hold on to it.
It's such a great point because yes, people don't understand gas fees. Because I just had somebody, we might have mentioned this last week, but I just had somebody reach out to me saying, and I was telling you this, he was trying to buy, I believe, Andy, and with how much he was trying to buy of Andy, by the time he actually made the transaction had gone through, he got like $7 or $8 worth of Andy. He's like, where the fuck did all my money go? Literally to Coinbase fees and gas fees on Ethereum. So the way that the gas fees work, like Logan was just talking about, is as the networks become more and more congested, there's more and more transactions going through every single minute. It becomes more expensive to make a transaction because that's how the networks determine which transaction they're going to prioritize first. So because the way that these blockchains work, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., they have miners, which is essentially people who run computers that their only job is to run the computations to run these transactions, to validate them and then put them on the blockchain, and that's how the transactions go through. So in order to pay people who are running this computer, this CPU, this computer power to run these transactions, they get paid in gas fees. So what you're getting charged in gas fees is what goes to the miners whenever it gets paid out to them whenever they solve a block. Block. Anyways, so more transactions going through, more expensive it becomes to run a transaction. So, and that's why you want to front run the move to Base, because Base is essentially free. So as Ethereum gas network fees goes up, Base is still free. So people are going to all rotate their profits into the Base network for whenever they want to start selling so they can save a lot of money. Because the gas fees, just so you guys know, they will get very expensive. It'll become hundreds of dollars to make transactions happen. So you better fucking load up your bags and keep some Ethereum on the side. So as Ethereum appreciates, your ETH obviously appreciates with it, and you still have money for gas fees for whenever you guys go to sell. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's real quick. I think that's a super important point to emphasize, because that's something I found myself in that position before.
Yeah.
Where I was looking to sell an asset or buy more of something at a good entry on the Ethereum network. And I only had, $30, $40 of ETH sitting in my wallet. And it wasn't enough to be able to complete the transaction. And if you guys run into that position, it's a pain in the ass. You think, okay, well, if that happens, I'll just sell some of my Andy to get more Ethereum. You don't have enough Ethereum in your wallet to complete that swap. You're not going to be able to do that. Like, you're going to have to go on chain into a Coinbase or a Robinhood, buy more Ethereum, wait for it to become available to send out to your wallet, and then get the Ethereum that way. So yeah, make sure you guys are doing that ahead of time. Like, I would do it today. I don't know what you guys have set up. I know Priamo and I, we use immediate availability funds on either Robinhood or Coinbase. If you guys have Apple Pay connected to your Coinbase or Robinhood account, you can do immediate availability where you can buy Ethereum and then you're able to send it immediately out of that platform into your wallet. I would do that today, and I would recommend to you guys, depending on the size of your wallets, for the way we're heading and what Ethereum's probably getting ready to do, I probably have a minimum of like $500 of Ethereum in your wallet just to make sure whenever the time comes, you guys aren't jammed up, just panicking, trying to get more Ethereum into your wallet to complete your transactions.
Exactly. And that's so bullish for us. People got to understand, because you guys are learning it from us and you guys are going to be prepared for it. But what's going to happen is the millions and millions and millions of people that jump into crypto during Q1, Q2, and they have these coins and they see the price start to drop or they see it start to dip and they try to go sell and take profits, they're going to be stuck in their positions because they're not going to know about the fact that they needed more Ethereum. So that's so bullish for us, because now all these other people are trying to exit the doorway at the same time as you, but they can't get out, but you can. So you can get out of your position. You can go ahead and dump on them, and they're still figuring. They don't even know that they need more Ethereum to be able to make this transaction happen. So it's incredibly bullish for the people that understand that beforehand. All right, so let's look at Bitcoin real quick, just so people understand the context of where we're going. So after these fibs on here real quick, over this massive range that we had throughout the summertime, the 7-8 month range. So this is what I was saying. So we're looking at like 113, 114. We're probably going to pretty much chop and grind into here. So let me go ahead and get my trusty arrow. So we'll probably do something like this. Boom. Whoops. Oh, it's probably not going to move like that quite. But the point is that we're going to chop and we're going to head into this 2.618 range. Okay. So as you guys see, whenever we pumped really hard out of the range, where did the price action start to draw back from and interact with? Well, you saw, Bitcoin, boom, green meat sticks, smacks its head off this 1.618, obviously interacts with this area quite a bit, which means that these fibs played. So that was like 89,000, 90,000. So we paused for a little bit before we continue to chop higher. So what I'm seeing is going to happen for this leg up is going to be, we're going to basically, because we didn't just shoot right up into the 2.618, we're going to grind higher and get some nice, we'll probably get a couple of nice meat sticks up until this 2.618 range. We'll probably pause for a moment, consolidate for a bit here, and then rip up to the 3.618, which will be about 140K. So Bitcoin probably should be around 140K, which I know is going to sound crazy. I would say we're going to get here, what is that, February? No, a lot quicker than that. I mean, we'll probably get to 140. What is it, December? We're going to rally. I would say by the beginning of Q1, middle of Q1, we should be about 140K. I would say, honestly, early Q1, like January, we should be at 140K. So that's going to be nice. So we'll get the next leg up on Bitcoin. Beautiful. Then Ethereum, same thing's going to happen. We're going to get, look at that. Still got all these drawings from my video that I did. If you guys didn't catch that video, you missed out on all the alpha. Let me actually go to this Ethereum drawing. So Ethereum, same thing. We put in a meat stick today. So Ethereum's trying to break out. Once we get above 4K, we should, or 4,100, which is about, right there. So that's where we rejected the first time. And 4,100 was this high in March of 24 earlier this year. So that's obviously our resistance level where we keep interacting with, like literally at $4,100. So we, boom, banged our head there in March. Banged our head there here in December. We're coming back up to try to retest it. So we gotta basically break through this $4,100 level. Once we break through this with conviction, ETH, you're gonna see rip face up to new all-time highs, which is up. I have it labeled at 4,700.
Yep. Yeah. And I think it's important for everyone to remember too, that not all price action is the same for these coins. So like you guys are going to see these coins rip a lot harder in certain ranges just because they're in between fibs. So like, yeah, you guys will see it's going to be a slow grind for Ethereum up to 4,100. At 4,100, it's going to chop. A lot of people are going to think it's over. It's not going to break out of previous range highs. And then boom, once it breaks through it, like Priamo said, once it breaks through that level with conviction, all of a sudden you guys are going to see it teleport up to 4,700 and then probably chop a little bit more. Looks like it's over. Looks like it's facing resistance. It's not going to go any higher. Once it breaks through that level with conviction, again, it's going to teleport up to the next level. So whenever we're showing you guys these fibs, it's important to remember that space in between the fibs is where you guys are going to see these huge moves,
right?
Where Ethereum really isn't facing any kind of resistance. It's just up only for a couple days or a couple weeks. So yeah, it's not always going to move the same. It's going to face some more resistance at certain levels, be a little bit more of a slow grind. But once it breaks through those critical levels, you guys are going to see Ethereum move really rapidly.
Right. Yep. And so if you want to draw the fibs on this from 4,100 down to the low, we're looking at 5,300 would be the next level. And that's what I expect. I expect ETH to rip up to, let's see. Yeah, rip past 5K. We should be 5K Ethereum by the end of this year. Realistically, you could also draw the fib from this range over here if you want to go ahead and just consider this a deviation and consider that its own little thing. If you want to consider that a deviation and then just use this range, still 4,800. So regardless, ETH is going to send up to around 5K by the end of this year, okay? Which is going to be huge for us because if you guys are watching the videos, this is the whole reason that we're in Ethereum beta, because this is the time of the year where Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin, outperform the other altcoins. So therefore, our meme coins are going to outperform Ethereum. So Ethereum goes up 50%, all of our meme coins are going to go up 100% plus, which is huge. I mean, that's a 2x in the matter of a couple of weeks. So that's where we're at with Ethereum. I'm expecting at least around 5,000 by the end of this year. Going into Q1, we should definitely be above 5,500, 6K, going and actually starting to make moves towards 10,000. So that's where we're at with ETH. We're just waiting for Bitcoin to do its thing. Bitcoin's at 107 now. So yeah, Bitcoin's doing fantastically. Who could have foreseen? And then if you want, we could look at, we could look at, what do you want to look at? We could either look at Boys Club and give them a couple of fibs on there and let them know which ones we're thinking about buying right now. Just give them a little outside juice or insider juice, but on the live stream. Or I could show them the Nvidia chart, Bitcoin Nvidia chart that I had posted on my Snapchat, showing that whenever Bitcoin starts to outperform Nvidia, Bitcoin rips face Bitcoin USD.
I'd go over that one first.
All right, yeah, let's do that then. So
while we're talking about Bitcoin,
what we were talking about, or what I was posting on Snapchat and inside of the Taylor's code, was a chart where Bitcoin basically is outperforming Nvidia. It gives you an idea of where Bitcoin's about to go. So Nvidia Corporation, yep. Okay, so let's look at this, right? So this chart is Bitcoin denominated by Nvidia. So essentially what this means is, as this chart is going up, Bitcoin is outperforming Nvidia, the company. As this chart is going down, Nvidia is outperforming Bitcoin, meaning that Nvidia would be a better hold over Bitcoin. So here's what we did. Every single time you see Bitcoin put in these massive outperformance areas against Nvidia, that's whenever Bitcoin starts going into price discovery on the Bitcoin USD pair. Okay, so this basically shows you, okay, where's the next breakout on Bitcoin? So if you take a look here and we draw these normie trend lines on this, I mean, you got, if we put it in, yeah, like this. So you go like that. You can draw it over here too. Right, you draw these normie trend lines from the tops. You can draw like this. You see whenever Bitcoin starts to break out of this trend line from these tops, so you see Bitcoin right here is just starting to break out of this trend line. You see what happens with Bitcoin on the USD pair. It starts to break out. So right now, it's been down only since, when was this? 2021, which of course was when the last bull market for Bitcoin and crypto. So the last time that Bitcoin had this blow off top was in March of 21. So then we've been down only. Bitcoin versus Nvidia has been down only for the last 4 years up until when? Right about now, which is October, November 2024. Oh, isn't that weird? That's exactly whenever Bitcoin started ripping face. Oh, okay. So this chart works, obviously. So what I was posting on the socials was, guys, Bitcoin over Nvidia is starting to break out right now. What does that mean? Oh, shit. Bitcoin's about to start ripping face. So if we line it up and we add, let's add a new pane underneath. We just do BTC underneath, right? Look what happens. So as soon as it starts to break out of this trend line, Bitcoin's ripping face. You come back over here, the last time that Bitcoin started outperforming Nvidia, boom, there it is. There's the all-time highs. Right over here, same thing, Bitcoin pumps. So anytime this chart is pumping up top, this is whenever the Bitcoin USD chart pumps. So when you look at these pairs, this is going to give you an insight as to where the market is going. So if you pay attention to a Bitcoin Nvidia chart and you realize, oh wow, there's a correlation between that chart and the Bitcoin USD chart, I should pay attention to this. Okay, we start to break out. I make posts. Hey, Bitcoin's about to start taking its next leg higher. What does Bitcoin do? It breaks out, goes into price discovery. Now it's about to take its next leg higher. So it's like the information's out there. You just got to be privy to it and understand where you can find basically the alpha in the data so that you can operate in a way where you're going to be front running the move that everybody's going to see too late, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, I think that a lot of people, obviously, I mean, it happens every single cycle. People are just obsessed with the idea of calling top on Bitcoin for some reason. So you guys, I mean, if you go on X or whatever, you guys are going to see a ton of people trying to say, oh, this is the top. This is the top. I mean, people were trying to call the top on Bitcoin at 100K, saying everyone was going to dump at 100K. It was going to retrace all the way to 35,000. But this cycle just feels so different than any cycle before because the whole sentiment around crypto in general, I think is just so different than it ever has been. There's never been a cycle before where a presidency even considered talking about crypto or even made it a main focal point like it is now. There's never been entire countries adopting crypto as its main currency. Um, I mean, if you guys follow the news, I mean, there's like El Salvador completely adopted crypto as its main currency. There's tons of countries that are adopting it. You know, way more countries are becoming pro crypto with the way they're setting up their tax structures. You know, you don't have to pay taxes on crypto gains. Um, you know, there's no taxes on crypto gains. You know, any money that you make from crypto completely exempt from taxes, which is
Right.
insane.
Insane.
Which is maybe causing relocation of myself
And
in the
me
future.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. But so whenever you have governments accumulating Bitcoin and looking at it as not, let me buy Bitcoin to then sell it for US dollars, it's now becoming, let me buy as much Bitcoin as I can and hold it, because eventually I'm not going to be able to buy Bitcoin and I'm not going to be able to get more of it. That's the sentiment that I think is starting to shift now. I think that's where Bitcoin is heading and crypto as a whole, is these governments and these massive institutions that are holding a ton of Bitcoin, they're not buying it to sell it for a profit of US dollars. They're buying it to hold it because nothing outperforms it. And eventually they're not going to be able to get it.
Right.
And I think that once that mindset fully is established, that's when the game is over. And that's when Bitcoin goes to $1 million and never comes down.
Correct.
So yeah, I think that anyone calling Bitcoin top at this point is a complete dumbass. And I think that, yeah, for the way that people are viewing crypto and the sentiment around it right now, yeah, I think we're not even close to where Bitcoin's going to go, which is beautiful for what we're invested in, because ETH is going to get dragged up with it.
Correct. And the thing you're saying about, all the new investors that are coming into the market for Bitcoin, this is the adoption cycle. So this is going to be the adoption cycle for countries, businesses, major players. And so the reason it's so significant what's going to happen this cycle compared to previous ones is that you have to understand that the objective for these massive players is much different than somebody like you or me, Logan, or the people watching. When Trump gets inaugurated and if he starts to try to accumulate Bitcoin, which it seems very obvious that he will, for the US government as let's call it a reserve currency or a way to basically preserve wealth for the country as the US dollar continued to become debased and devalued through inflation. Their objective is much different than us, being that they're not going to sell the Bitcoin once they've bought it. So that's an important factor, okay? They're going to buy it to hold it long term, right? That's not what normal people are doing. Normal people who are trying to make this generational wealth and come up big off crypto, etc., they're buying it to then hopefully dump on somebody's head very quickly, very soon afterwards. Therefore, the price fluctuating a lot more. Therefore, people taking profits in that asset devaluing itself. With the Bitcoin adoption that's happening right now, of course, there's going to be pullbacks. Absolutely, 100%. It's not going to go up only forever, never come back down. But the point is that the downside is going to be so much more muted than what it's been in the past, because a lot of these top holders of Bitcoin are not going to be dumping the coin. That's not what they're here for. They're not trying to turn a profit off of the Bitcoin. They're buying the Bitcoin to preserve wealth, to preserve money over a long period of time. So being that they're all buying it and they're not planning on selling it, well, then that means that the supply is going to continue to decrease at an exponential rate without these people dumping on your head. Therefore, every Bitcoin is going to do what? Go up to $1 million. So the appreciation is going to happen a lot more quickly, even though the market cap is higher, just from the pure fact that the buyers are not going to be motivated sellers in a short time frame, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think whenever people are stockpiling Bitcoin and they're buying it with that intention to just hold it forever, because why would you sell a deflationary asset to buy an inflationary one? It doesn't make any sense. And historically, yeah, there's been big pullbacks, but if you average out the Bitcoin returns over the past 10 years, like what other asset could these institutions hold that's going to outperform it? Nothing.
Nothing.
So whenever people are buying it and hoarding it and holding it with that intention, what do you guys think is going to come next? They're going to rotate down. The only other crypto coin that they can really buy with the size that they want to buy in at, which is Ethereum.
Yep.
And the same shit's going to happen to Ethereum. You guys are going to see Bitcoin go to a couple 100,000. It's going to get to the point where like the supply is just so limited, no one's selling it. It's just going pretty much up only with, minor pullbacks relative to how it's pulled back in the past. It's going to rotate down, and Ethereum's going to start to do the same thing. And whenever Ethereum's doing the same thing, the people who are looking to buy and sell for a profit, like we are, they're going to be invested in meme coins and things that are beta to Ethereum. They're going to be trying to play similar gains. They don't have to buy in for millions and millions of dollars like these institutions do. So they can play on chain with things like Pepe, things like Brett, things like Andy and Wolf. And that's what they're going to be looking to make their money off of. And you're going to see them perform extremely well.
Yep. Exactly. All of it is a front run. The reason we're in meme coins now is the front run of the front run, right? We're front running Bitcoin's rotation into Ethereum by front running Ethereum's rotation into meme coins, right? So we're just the furthest down the risk curve, because as that money as that wealth effect continues to occur on chain from Bitcoin and Ethereum holders, all those profits, all that money is going to start rotating down into our baskets. Fortunately, we had bought those assets before that rotation occurs. So you're going to see meme coins are going to be one of the last things that pump really, really, really fucking hard this cycle. Why? Because it's the furthest down the risk curve that people are going to go. So logically, they're going to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum, from Ethereum to other major L1s. So then, the L1s and the utility tokens have pumped really hard. Okay, what can we speculate on next? Okay, maybe AI tokens. Okay, after AI tokens, how much further can we go down? Oh, okay, meme coins. All right, let's go ahead and rotate into meme coins. Now all this money has rotated into our bags, and as they're pumping fucking 5, 10, 15x towards the end of the cycle, guess what we're going to do? We'll go ahead and sell our positions to into those rotations, into those pumps, exit the market as they're trying to get more multiples on their money. Fantastic. That's how you win. You front run the front run. So, and it's not to say that those people won't make money either, but they're not going to make as much money as us, because we're going to obviously benefit from much more multiples than they will. Now, for those investors, it could also make sense because maybe they're just trying to get a 2 or 3x on their money on the way down because they have so much money. That's possible too. But we're looking to catch the meat of the move beforehand, as opposed to getting the last 2 or 3x in those meme coins towards the end of the cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think if you guys look at it, for the people who are trying to make a profit and sell for a profit in the cycle, you guys have to look at it like people who have a gambling addiction. It's like, if you make 500, 600, 700% on your money, maybe like someone who bought XRP, for instance, a few months ago, and they're up 500% on their money, it's similar to a gambling addiction where like it's never enough whenever you make that kind of money off of a play. It's never going to be enough. Like people are never going to fully get out and take a step back from the market. Maybe one or two real disciplined traders will be able to step back and say, okay, you know what? I'm good. I'm happy with my profits. I'll see you guys next year. Right. But the majority of people, they're going to be always looking for that next move, that next way to kind of get that high again that they got from that 500% XRP move. And what's going to be able to provide that for them is, like Priamo said, sliding further down the risk curve to meme coins and investing there. And that's what you guys are going to start to see, is people shifting down that risk curve, trying to get that move like they saw with their, originally Bitcoin and Ethereum, then to, the utility tokens, then down to meme coins.
Exactly.
So people are going to be chasing it.
And the last thing I want to mention with the meme coins too, this is a point I had made before. Get the hell out of here. Kick rocks, trying to sell me shit on my computer. So the last thing with the meme coins too is you have to understand that it's also the simplest thing for people to understand, okay? And there's value in that. And this is something that me and Logan had learned from being absolute top-level salesmen in our careers in the sales industry, is that the best salespeople know that the simpler you can keep something for someone, the easier it is for them to buy. People don't want to buy things that they don't understand. If they don't understand it, they're nervous. They want to wait to make their decision. They don't want to pull trigger. They're not confident in their decision making. So the more simple and clear the concept you can keep for someone as to why they should buy and why there's value, the more likely they're going to be to purchase. That's the way that meme coins operate. The reason that meme coins do so well, because people think to themselves, wow, it's a fucking meme coin. There's no value to it. It's not a company that earns money. There's nothing that you can, it's just fucking, it's in the ether. It's vaporware. It's not real. It doesn't exist, right? So why do meme coins do so well? Because they're so simple. There's nothing to think about. It's not like a utility token where you got to understand what Aave is in terms of a decentralized platform where you can get DeFi loans and do staking and this, that, and the third. And most of you guys probably don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about or what Aave even is. The fact that you don't know what Aave is means that you're not going to be in the market for buying the Aave token, even though it's a huge market cap right now. But a meme coin like Pepe, well, you know what Pepe is. It's a frog. That's a meme that Elon's starting to tweet about now, which is hilarious because he's going to pump it like Doge. Okay, it's Pepe. It's a meme coin. Everybody knows what Pepe is. Great, let me just buy that. Oh, Brett? What's Brett? Oh, Brett's Pepe's friend from the same comic book? Okay, that makes sense. Let me buy Brett. Wait, Andy is in the same comic book as Pepe and Brett, and their buddy's in there too? Well, that makes sense. All right, if Pepe is going to go higher, Andy will probably go higher. And then same thing with Wolf. All 4 characters from the same comic book. So it's very simple. There's nothing to understand. There's no technology, no utility, no AI component where you have to understand what the tech is it good tech? No, it's just literally a fucking meme. And that's good enough for some people. Because if they think that meme can pump, they're going to buy that shit. So there's value in that.
Yeah, I saw something that I thought was really interesting and made a lot of sense to me was if you guys look at Dogecoin, for instance, Dogecoin's market cap currently is almost double. Well, it's 150% higher than Ford's market cap, like Ford Motor Company.
Right?
So whenever you guys look at a tech stock, it's really hard, I think, for people to say that the tech that a tech coin is providing is really more valuable than a company like Ford Motor Company, right, or some of these huge, blue chip stocks in the legacy markets. It's really, really hard to justify the tech being worth more than a company like that.
Right.
Versus you look at something like Dogecoin, that's just pure speculation. It's just people having fun on the internet. Like Priamo said, it's a simple concept. It's very easy to understand. People don't need to learn about this tech and what it's going to provide and the values it'll have in everyday life in the future, whatever. It's just pure speculation. People having fun on the internet. They believe in something. It gets a cult following and the market cap just goes obscene.
Right.
So I think that's why meme coins, I believe in them so much, is because, at the end of the day, it is pure speculation. But I think for a tech coin to be able to go double or triple or quadruple something like Ford Motor Company is kind of hard to justify and kind of hard to believe is actually possible, because is the tech really that good? But when you look at a meme coin like Pepe, it's just a frog. It's just a ton of people having fun on the internet that all believe in the same thing. That isn't that far out of reach because Dogecoin's already proved it's possible. SHIB has already proved it's possible. So I think that that's just something I heard that I thought was really, really interesting, and it made a lot of sense to me. I'm like, right. Yeah, it's possible for these coins to do that versus tech that is probably not that valuable.
Correct. Exactly. And it's so funny that we live in, I've done this just to myself personally, thinking about what we're actually doing and laughing, thinking, holy fuck, this shit is hilarious that Pepe is about to flip major multi-$100 million, multi-billion dollar companies, and it's just a fucking frog on the internet and we're about to get rich off of it, right? It's hilarious to me that this is even a reality. This is a real thing, that Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, is a real thing with Elon and Vivek. It's just hilarious. But yeah, like you said, you get people who believe in something, they'll speculate. It comes down to making money at the end of the day. If people think that they can make money, they're going to buy something. Value is in the eye of the beholder. Nobody can say, oh, it's not worth that much. It can't be worth that much. How's it worth that much? It's not for you to decide. Are people buying it? Yeah, well, then it's worth that much.
It's the same thing with fine art. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Who are you to determine the value of a painting or a piece of art? Yeah, I could see something, have no idea who painted it, and you say, "Oh, that's a piece of shit." Then you tell me, "Oh, it was Andy Warhol." Now I know it's worth millions of dollars, right? It's just the perceived value, and fine art. A lot of that is just fucking money laundering, which I'm sure crypto involves a lot of that as well. But
yep.
besides the point, so it's the point is that the value is the value. An asset is priced at where it's priced because that is its value. If it wasn't worth that much, then trust me, it wouldn't be worth that much. So it's just very easy to speculate on meme coins because people think, oh, well, if it can go higher, well, then it'll go higher. I just drew some quick fibs on here just to give people a little bit of a exciting look at Doge. So Doge, just to give you guys an idea. So this was the best performing altcoin from last cycle in 2021. Everybody knew Doge was going crazy. It was viral. Elon was talking about it. They're talking about it on SNL, all that shit. So top price about 73 cents, 74 cents, which is about 90 billion dollar market cap. So that's our ceiling for meme coins. Right now, after Trump's win, Doge ripped face. It's about 41 cents right now. It's essentially loading its next leg higher, so Doge will pump again, of course. Now, why aren't we trading Doge? Well, because to its all-time high again, I mean, it's only a 2x. So how much further do we really think it's going to go past its all-time high? So therefore, the multiples are not there. It doesn't really make sense to hold this asset. But anyways, if you look at the fibs from this local range that I drew, 1.618 is at 57 cents. 2.618 is at 71 cents. So to get back to its all-time highs, Doge is going to have to essentially, it's probably going to have to do something like this and then rip again. So it's probably going to need another leg or two unless its next leg is super, super aggressive and just shoots up to 2.618. I don't really see Doge having enough time to get... it can definitely get back to all-time highs. I don't know how much time it has to get well above its all-time highs. To get back up to this 3.618 would be a really fucking lucrative cycle. If Doge gets up to this 3.618, breaks its all-time high significantly, that means we're printing quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be no blow off top in Q1.
Right. Yeah. Outside of that, I can't really imagine Doge. I could though, but that's the thing. That's the thing with the bull market is your targets are never typically high enough in a bull market. So
Well, yeah, and I think, I mean, if you guys look, like Dogecoin's market cap right now is 60 billion. It's like if you take out Doge and SHIB from the meme coin basket, the rest of the meme coins combined are less than Dogecoin's market cap right now.
Yep.
So it's like that's not just the boys club. Like that is all the entire meme coin sector of fairly well established meme coins. Not, I don't know if that includes all the shite coins on Sol and Base that have been around for 3 days that are probably going to be gone in a week.
Right.
But if you guys look at all the meme coin basket, it's less than the market cap of Doge if you disclude Doge and SHIB. So it's like you guys don't think that the entire meme coin sector, whenever Ethereum is ripping at 10 or 12,000, you don't think the entire meme coin sector can do a 5x compared to the amount of money that's flowed just into Dogecoin specifically. Mm-hmm. It's like, I just don't think we're looking high enough. And that would be a 5x on all your bags from where they're at right now. If you guys would have bought over the summer, you guys are going to be up 50x, 60x from the lows over the summer whenever we were accumulating.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think, I think this cycle is going to break some brains.
It is. I mean, it's shaping up to be that way. I mean, and that's the thing with,
we're back over 4,000.
Yeah, we're back over 4,000 on ETH, which is fucking fantastic. Yeah, 4K on ETH. It might happen today. We'll see what they do. If it doesn't happen today, we'll probably pull back tomorrow because Tuesdays usually go the opposite way of the Monday open and the Monday session. Just because that's just how these fucking TradFi market makers guys do this shit. If we break through today, that'd be fucking huge. If we don't, tomorrow we probably retrace a little bit, and then towards the end of the week we should rip through 4,100. But yeah, we love to see that. So ETH is climbing back up a little bit. What I was gonna pull up was Pepe. I was gonna show something. I'll show Andy real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Let me see. Let me clean this bad boy up a little bit. Yeah, I got all this shit. Let me just remove everything. Start over. Okay. So some of the guys inside the Taylor's Code were asking, okay, which ones, out of the 4 boys club, which one should I be loading up on right now? I'll give you guys this for free on YouTube just so you have an idea. So Andy right now is going to be one of your buys right at this moment just because it hasn't broken out yet. Wolf already has. Pepe had a huge breakout already. Andy is still waiting to take its next breakout move. So this is what I would be accumulating right now, would be Andy before it rips up to this 1.618 at about $580 million market cap. So that's going to be a 2x from where we're at, a little bit more than a 2x from where we're at right now. Oh, no, 300 mil right now. So yeah, so 2x. So, and the reason I wouldn't accumulate Wolf right now, look, I already got the fibs on here, is see how Wolf already broke out and hit its 1.618 and retrace a little bit. So Wolf is loading its next leg up, but it's already broken out and hit its 1.618. So it's further along in its progression than Andy is on this next move up. So that's why I've been telling the guys inside of the private crypto place, I tell them exactly whenever I buy things on or add to my positions or buy new meme coins. I was telling them I'm accumulating Andy right now because these are the sorts of things that we see. It's, Andy still has not broken up to its 1.618 yet. So that means Wolf is going to underperform Andy on this next move. So I'm buying Andy so I can benefit from this move up to the 1.618, which if we go back to Wolf, already happened, right? It already took that move. So that's how you invest intelligently. These are the things that you guys aren't seeing if you're not looking at these charts. And obviously following the market, you're not seeing that. You're just buying whatever the fuck, not understanding that you already missed the move on Wolf, so I'm buying Andy. Understand? So there you go. There's your free alpha for the day. If you guys are not inside the Taylor's Code, there's a link in the description. Join the group, join the organization. We update there every single day what's going on in the markets in terms of what we're seeing, the analysis, etc. And once you get inside of the Taylor's Code, if you want direct access to myself, Logan, Bobby, all the gentlemen that are inside our private group chat, join the private crypto plays inside the classroom. We'll get your contact information. We'll add you to the group with the rest of the gentlemen that we invest with. And then you'll be getting live updates on our actual positions, new things that we're buying, where we're selling, when to sell, when to buy, when to accumulate, all these different types of things that we're doing. That's where you're going to get the live updates on our actual positions. So if you want to join that group, after you're inside the Taylor's Code, go to the classroom, join the private crypto plays, and then we'll get you added to that as well. All right. Outside of that, we should be pretty much good to go. You got anything else, Bees, you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, no, I mean, pretty much covered everything. I think for all the plays that we're invested in, I know you put out a video kind of referencing to it, but I think that with all the plays we're in, there's conservatively a 5x left this cycle conservatively. I'd say on the higher end, 10 to 20x on all the plays that we're currently giving inside the Taylor's Code and in the private group chat. So for any of you guys who have maybe been hesitant to just kind of make that jump and make that investment, I mean, I think it's $25. It's like if you guys are going to be investing even $25, $50, $100 this cycle, if you're going to be doing conservatively a 5x, just your 5x from a $50 investment is going to by far cover your monthly subscription to the Taylor's Code. So don't continue to hesitate. Right now is literally, we've been preaching about it, that this was going to be the time Ethereum was really going to start to outperform Bitcoin. All these altcoins were really going to start to outperform the rest of the market. Now is really crunch time for you guys to kind of finally make that move and just make that jump. And yeah, don't continue to hesitate, because I can't say for certain, but by the time we get on stream on Thursday and by next Monday, I mean, you guys could have missed out on 50 to 100% moves just in the next few days. So yeah, don't continue to hesitate. You're going to make way more than your investment back from the information that you're going to be giving, from the help that you're going to have to actually get invested, set up your wallet, be able to buy on exchanges, get everything set up the way you need to have it set up, and you'll be able to have us, helping you along the way. So Yeah, I just say make that jump. I mean, Priamo and I combined spend close to $1,000 a month on subscriptions and different things that we do to be able to get the information we provide for you guys. So you guys are getting this information at a huge discount, and you're having a lot more one-on-one help from people like us to help you along the way, compared to a lot of the bigger, discords and groups that you could end up joining. So yeah.
That's a fantastic point. I haven't even thought about that. The fact, yeah, we spend between the two of us thousands of dollars a month for all the information, analysis, subscriptions, even TradingView, all those different things to have the information that we have. That's huge. You get all that for $25, and you get to hang out with us. That's worth more than 25, I'd say. So, all right, gentlemen. Outside of that, appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Please like the stream. Make sure that we get this information out to as many people as possible, because obviously the more people that are engaged, involved, a part of the network, the more successful we all become, and the higher all of our bags go. So like, comment, subscribe. Gentlemen, we will see you on Thursday at noon. So let me, Mr. Producer, this real quick. Stream ending. Mr. Producer. And we will see you guys next Thursday. All right. Peace.
Good night.